This bank on Coventry Road, this Islamic Circle Islam Bank, what's that about, and is it possible or not?
Concerning the Islamic banks, wherever they are, the majority of the Islamic banks deal in riba. And it's almost impossible for them not to deal in riba. But we support the Islamic banks because we want good from them. We want to support them. It's like Islamic schools. Yes, they are below the level of the kuffar schools that we want to send our children to in order for our child to compete. But it's a vicious cycle. If we don't get Muslim teachers to make a sacrifice to work at a lower wage, and if we don't get Muslim members of the community to make the sacrifice and send our children there anyway and do what you can do to raise the level of the school, then it's going to remain below par. So the Islamic Bank, for some reason, we have a hatred towards them more than the kuffar banks. Yes, most of that is riba. One of the types of riba is al-ina. And as Rasulullah said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, riba is 72 babs. There are many different types of riba. Many types of riba. Riba al-fadl, riba al-nasi'ah. So many types of riba. One of the ribas that the Islamic banks work on and with is al-ina. What the Prophet says, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, إذا تبايعتم بالعينة وأخذتم أذناب البقر ورديتم بالزرع وتركتم الجهاد سلط الله عليكم ظلا. If you people take this ina, this type of usury, and you grab and take the tails of the cows and preoccupy yourselves with your animals and your agriculture, and you leave off jihad, Allah will make you low. And He won't take that lowliness off of you until you return to your deen. Making jihad, not being abnab the dunya. Al-ina is the deferred payment. And it has many examples. He wants to buy something from him, so he agrees that he's going to pay £10 a month. So he purchased from him the product, and he pays £10 every month. That guy comes back and he purchases what he sold to him. He purchases it for £100. He was going to spend £120. He purchases it from him £100. He gives it back to him, and he's still responsible for paying every month the payment until he gives him 20 more extra pounds. That's an ina. And an ina can be with 2 people, or it can be with 3 people. Deferred payment, like the bank. Someone needs something, me and him, and we go through the bank and they play games and try to hide it as a riba. So we support the Islamic banks, but it's going to require a level of sacrifice for us and a level of sacrifice for them. But don't be in doubt. They deal in riba. They can't get away from it.
I've got 2 questions. First question is, what's the difference now between the Islamic bank and the other banks? Should I open a bank, Islamic bank, or should I not?
What's the difference between the Islamic bank and the non-Islamic bank? The difference is just in the Islam and non-Islam. TCB, Lloyds, NatWest, and maybe when you go to the Islamic bank, they say Assalamu alaikum, things like that. There's a brother right here in our community, Somalian brother, I met him at the bank. I went in there, we gave salams, I didn't know him, he didn't know me. When I wanted to open up an account in the bank, I said, let me go to the Islamic bank. I brought my passport, brought my information. They told me, well, you can't open up the account until you bring us the bill. I say, here's the bill for the telephone. It's going to be installed soon, inshallah. They said, no, we need 3 bills, not the first bill. I said, what's the difference between you and those other people? I'm not here to give you problems. The guy convinced me, no, this is the system. We'll get in trouble, this and that. Okay, I brought him the bill. So the kalam that I heard from them both times was the same kalam of those other people. As a matter of fact, it was a little less with the other people, so I opened up the account, my account with the other people. You do what works for you. Maybe that bank is next to where you work, next to where you live, so you do it. But we all have to do some sacrificing, and we all have to realize that the Islamic bank is not perfect, but no one told you you have to lose your money or make a hardship on yourself that you can't handle.
And the second one is, what about the student loan? I lend the money from institution for my financial institution, and And after that, I've seen that they put some charge on it, like, you know, like the riba. And I don't want it, but I want it to pay back. But it's going more and more.
Concerning the student loans that have riba on them, you can't get away from it. What we're going to tell the student: don't go to college, don't go to the university because you're poor and you can't afford it. So just get a job as the bank collector. Not that the bank collector is a bad job, but he has the ability to become an eye surgeon. She has the ability to become a gynecologist. What we're going to tell him? No, don't go because you are going to have to take riba. Of course we're not going to say something like that. If you take that loan out, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make a way for you to pay the loan. And whoever fears Allah, Allah make a way out for him. And you are responsible, ikhwani, for the loans that we get from those kuffar. We are responsible.
Two questions. One, is it permissible to use credit or debit card? And secondly, if you have a business which allows you to swipe the card to customers, is that permissible?
Credit and debit cards are haram. They're backed by the concept and they play into the concept of riba. Especially the credit card. To get a credit card is haram. Even if you get a secured credit card, I put up £200 and I can spend up to £200. It's my own money. But you have agreed that if you don't pay whatever you purchase before the month is out, that you're going to pay the riba. And it's not permissible for you to agree on the condition that's haram. كل شرط ليس في كتاب الله فهو باطل وإن كان مئة شرط. Every condition that's not in the book of Allah is batil, even if it is 100 conditions. So when you agree to that condition, if I don't pay on time, you're going to charge me 2.5% financing. Haram. But again, we're living here. You may be forced, you may be compelled. You may be forced, you may be compelled. In America, when you travel, if you live in the state of New York, you can take your debit card and rent a car. You can rent a car. But if you travel anywhere else, in the other states, you cannot rent a car with your debit card. They want to see a credit card. No matter what kind of credit card it is. Gold, platinum, whatever it is. They want a credit card. So my business is driving. I travel and I drive. So I'm compelled and I'm forced. What is clearly away from Islam is the one who has a credit card and he strangles himself by abusing the credit card, buying what he doesn't need, buying and spending and getting things that are beyond his means. That's not permissible. As for the one who is compelled, he hates it and he sees that he is majboor. And we gave that dars before. Al-mahdhurat tuqaddar biqadriha. Whenever you have to fall into something that's haram, you do enough of it just to save yourself. And we gave some other principles that were vital to know. What was the second question, Akhi?
If you have a business,
concerning the businesses that the people have, person has an Islamic bookstore that has books about riba is haram, Kitab al-Kaba'ir. But in the bookstore there's the card to swipe. Is it haram to have that card? That machine? That machine is helping to do the haram. But that is the culture of business here that you can't get away from. It is the culture of the business here that you can't get away from. So the person again, he hates it and he makes tawbah from it and he seeks a way to get around it. But there are just certain issues because this is the lifestyle where we're living. Wherever you go, you're not going to escape these issues. Medina and Mecca, you're not going to escape these issues. The bookstores of Medina and Mecca, the bookstores that sell Islamic books, they have that machine where you swipe your credit card in it, where you swipe your other card in it. Does that make it halal? No, it doesn't make it halal what people do in Mecca and Medina. The point is, that's the culture of the dunya today. That the ma'roof has become munkar, and the munkar has become ma'roof, and the Muslims are below, and the ways of the kuffar are above. And we agree with the jihadi people. And we agree with Hizb Tahrir. And we agree with the Ikhwan al-Muslimin about the importance of controlling and ruling and the khilafah and defending the deen, but not the way those people go about it, not the way they believe. We believe in it, inshallah. We have to believe in it in a way that is Islamic, not the way some of these crazy people who say things like, what's going on in Palestine, they deserve it because they make shirk. What's going on in Afghanistan, they deserve it because they make shirk. What's going on in Iraq, they deserve it because they were Shia. What is that? What is that kalam? What is that kalam? What kind of nonsense is that type of statement? If someone mentions something about jihad, we become and we say, oh, he's a jihadi. No, we say jihad is from the deen. And jihad is something that we all should concern ourselves with. And we shouldn't be afraid of the kuffar that we say jihad is from our deen. But what jihad? The jihad of al-Islam, the real jihad. The jihad that I make against myself, my lower base desires, and also the jihad of the lisan, and also the jihad of the hadith. All of that is with our religion, but with knowledge, with the sharia of our deen. Not what the people are calling jihad az-Zarqawi. If there really is a Zarqawi, wallahi, I doubt there's really a man, his name is Abu Mus'ab az-Zarqawi. I doubt it. I doubt if he really lives. هذا وصلى الله وسلم على نبينا وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين.